And then someone suggested, why don't you get some coaching? And I'm like, what's that? And the BBC had an internal career coaching department. So I booked an appointment and I had this amazing session, and it was like revelationary because they were like asking me all these really obvious questions. Well, what do you enjoy? What are your skills? What are your strengths? What things do you really love? When you look over your career, what's all the themes that bring it all together? And all of this started to kind of come out. And they said, well, actually, I said, I'd really like recruitment because it ticks all of those boxes, and we have an internal recruitment department. I'm going to apply for that. And after a couple of attempts, I got a job in recruitment, and I thought, that's it. I really love this. This is really great. And I stayed there for a really long time. So my name is Karen Munro, and I'm an independent career coach. My role is basically trying to support people to find a job that they love. So I tend to work with professional adults who are looking at anything to help them with career change, or to forward their career, or do something completely different. Or perhaps they're just finding some stumbling blocks and they just need a little bit of support and a little bit of help. To find a job that they love, I think, is really important. At the end of the day, we spend up to 90,000 hours in our lifetime, which is a third of our lifetime working. So I think it's really important to find something that you really love. So some of my clients might be coming to the end of a particular job, or they might have a bit of a midlife crisis and think, I don't want to be doing this anymore, what do I need to do? So my role as a career coach is to help them with everything from their motivation, their confidence, identify their transferable skills, help them decide what it is that they want to do when they grow up, even if they're in their 40s or 50s as well. And maybe help them with their CVs and their interview techniques so that they can do a job that they really love. I will have a conversation with them about what their goal is, what they're trying to achieve. So it might be that actually they've been applying for lots of jobs and they keep getting knockbacks or not hearing anything. So it could be that they just need to work on their CV. And some of my clients haven't ever written a CV, or haven't written a CV for a really long time, and just really need some support in kind of engaging with their audience and selling their brand and being really confident about what they have to offer and recognising their value. And it's very difficult to do that when it's in your own head. You need an objective conversation with somebody else to help bring that out and help you realise, oh yeah, I am really good at that and I can do this. Or it might be that they're really stumbling in their interviews and are not necessarily recognising the same thing they're doing over and over again that's perhaps not convincing their audience that they're good enough. And it might just be that they just need to talk through to somebody who is going to have an objective point of view and not say, well, I think you should do this. So all their friends and family might have lots of opinions about what they want to do. But my role, using real coaching techniques, is just asking all the right questions and really, really listening hard. So my job isn't really to do all the talking. My job is to really do all the listening, so I can hear all the noise that's going on and take all of that out of their heads, lay it all down on the table and go, okay, this is what we're looking at. Let's work at this. Yeah, so there's a number of professional bodies. So I'm a full member of the Association for Coaching, and I would really recommend them because they've been really supportive and really helpful for me. But you've got all sorts of institutes that you can have a look at as well. So there's also a number of companies that do kind of taster days. So Animas, the Coaching Academy, you can do like weekends and taster days, which are completely free. You get the big hard sell at the end to kind of buy the product. So if you're not ready for that, you just have to be really resilient. But it's also a really good way of recognising, do I like this? Do I enjoy that? Which is kind of what I touched on earlier as well. So I would say explore what's out there and what suits you. And I think if you're going to become a coach, you need to decide what your niche is. So I'm a career coach, but you can get a life coach. You can get a coach that talks about motivational speaking, or an imposter syndrome coach for people who don't have that confidence, or neuroscience, a whole range of different niches. So decide actually who's my niche. And for me, my niche is kind of professional adults, but you'll get some people that just look after students and people leaving university. I also know a career coach who works with young children from the age of about 6, which is just about kind of coaching their life skills and honing in on that. So think about what's going to be the best qualification for me, thinking about my audience. Who do I want to support? Yes, so I don't think that there is a very specific pathway with career coaching. I mean, yes, you can kind of do your level 2, your level 3s, etc. in coaching. You could do coaching and mentoring, you could do careers advice, you can do a certificate and diploma, you can do a master's in coaching. But I think I would always pull it right back and think, who is your audience? Who do you want to work with? And then once you really understand who you want to work with, then you can start building up the credibility of your experience, and then start talking to people who are doing the same kind of thing in that industry. What qualifications did they use? What helped them? I've spoken to quite a lot of people that are masters in coaching. I haven't done a masters in coaching, who haven't actually found it completely valuable for the area that they've looked in, but they've spent thousands and thousands of pounds doing all of that. And also you've got to think about your time and your resources and the effort. So for some people it's definitely the right thing, but for other people they're like, actually I didn't need to do that, I could have gone down a different route. So really explore it and talk to lots of people. Go and talk to people. So I think it's very easy. If you're sitting at home thinking, what am I going to do and what's that look like? You're going to have all this information in your head. You've just got to be a bit brave. Go out and talk to people. Find people who do something similar. Google it, look online, look at videos like this, and really get a good experience of all the different angles, so that you can start approaching it and having conversation and ask the difficult questions. You know, what did you do wrong? What did you fail at? What would you do differently? What did that look like? What are the challenges? So that you can be really realistic. And it may be that you need to do a different kind of job to bring the money in. So I was very lucky in that I had the associate work, so I had some bread and butter money. So I didn't suddenly get here, you know, straight away. I had to build it up, and 9 years later, now my private business is really it's kind of gone exponential, and it's brilliant. And I'm so grateful for that. But it didn't happen overnight. It really took its time. And there were times when I just thought, oh gosh.